Hello everyone, myself Manju Sharma from Suresh Kanvyar University, School of Agriculture. Today we are going to discuss about diseases of chili. So first of all, introduction of chili. Chili, the botanical name is Capsicum annum and Capsicum fructensis belongs to the family Solanaceae and the genus Capsicum. Andhra Pradesh has been leading both in area and production, contributing on an average of 25% of the total area and over 40 to 50% of the total production. India has emerged today as the foremost producer and exporter of chilies, contributing to almost one fourth of world production. India ranks first in export of chilies but is only 2.5 to 3% of the total production. Chili is grown in tropical as well as in temperate zone. So it is widely used in manufacture of curry powder, curry paste and all kinds of pickles and preparing soups and salads etc. So the pungency in chilies due to an alkaloid capsicum. A major contributor to this lower productivity are various diseases which are damping of anthracnose, bacterial leaf spot and leaf curl of chili. So today we will discuss about different types of diseases of chili like anthracnose, damping of, bacterial leaf spot and leaf curl. So let's come to the diseases of chili. So the first disease is the damping of. Damping of disease, the causal organism of damping of is the Phythium affinidatum. The economic importance, like disease of nursery beds and young seedlings, resulting in reduced seed germination and poor stand of seedlings. Then very high seedling mortality, that is 25 to 75%. Like 25 to 75% mortality, it is too much. So due to this disease, the yield of the chili will be very less. So what are the symptoms? Like damping of disease basically divided and it is two types like pre-emergence and post-emergence. Pre-emergence damping of seedling disintegrate before they come out in soil surface, leading to poor seed germination. Post-emergence damping off, that means it categorized by development of disease after seedlings have emerged out of soil but before the stems are lignified. That means pre and post emergence. Pre, which will be occur during the early stage, and post emergence, which occur during the later stage. Pre emergence basically whenever the seedling which will be not grown properly at that time, like just after the sowing, the disease will be there. So due to this disease, the mortality rate will be very high. That's why the production or the yield will be less. Water shock lesions formation at collar region. Infected areas turn brown and rot. Plants shrivel and collapse as a result of softening of tissues. In Rhizoctonia solani, attack infected stem become hard, thin, like wire stem symptoms will be there, and infected seedling topple disease appear in patches both in nursery and field beds. Like these are the symptoms of damping of disease. So due to this, the plant will be dead. Now, spread and survival of pathogen. So basically, the oospores in soil in case of Phythium sclerotia, and the secondary is like the zoospore through irrigation water in case of Phythium. Favorable conditions for Phythium: heavy rainfall, excessive and frequent irrigation, poorly drained soil and close spacing, high soil moisture with temperature around 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. So these are the favorable condition for the damping of disease pathogen. Next is management. Management, like we have to raising nursery in light soil with proper drainage, dabbing like burning farm trash on the surface of the beds, showing seed on raised beds of 15 centimeter height, using optimum seed rate of 650 gram. Seed treatment with TRM or Captain 2 to 3 gram per kg. Soil drenching with Bordeaux mixture 1% or copper oxychloride should be 0.3% or metal exile, that is 0.2%. Biocontrol with Trichoderma viridi and Trichoderma hercinium, raising modern nurseries in courtyard under controlled conditions in polyhouse. Next disease is the dieback and fruit rot disease. Dieback and fruit rot, like the symptoms, those will be occur on the plant also and then on the fruit. Causal organism is Coletrotrichum capsicum. The symptoms are disease is more in December, October in transplanted crop, small, circular to irregular, brownish, black scattered spots appear on leaves. Severely infected leaves will be defoliate. Infection of growing tips leads to necrosis of branches from tip backward. Necrotic tissues appear grayish white with black dot like acervuli in the center. The shading of flowers due to infection of pedicule and tips of branches. So these all types of symptoms which we can show on the plant of the chili. Like that, the plant will be dry, the leaves will be dry and then defoliate. That's why the name is like dieback disease. Then fruit symptoms. Ripe fruits are more vulnerable to attack than green ones. Small, circular, yellowish to pinkish sucker spots appear on fruits. Spores increase along fruit length, attaining elliptical shape. Severe infection result in the shriveling and drying of fruits. Tissues around lesions will be bleached and turn white or grayish in color and lose their pungency. On the surface of the lesions, minute black dot like fruiting bodies that will be called acervuli, which develop in concentric ring, and fruits appear straw colored, so the affected fruits may fall off subsequently, and the seeds produced in the severely infected fruits are discolored and covered with mycelial mat. So these all type of symptoms which we can show on the fruit. Like these are the symptoms. The black color spots will be there and concentric ring. So after that, the fruit will be completely spoiled and they will be fall down. Then survival and spread. Primary mycelium and conidia in acervuli in infected seeds and diseased crop debris. Secondary are conidia dispersed by rain splash and wind. Survival and spread of the pathogen like the mycelium and conidia in acervuli is infected seeds and diseased crop debris. Secondary, like the conidia, which will be dispersed by rain splash and then through the wind. So through the wind, the conidia, which they will be dispersed. Now, what are the favorable conditions for the pathogen? Like the optimum temperature or the suitable temperature is 28 degrees centigrade with relative humidity more than 97%. That is the favorable condition for the method. Then humid weather with rainfall at frequent intervals, intercropping with turmeric, which is an other host of the fungus. After that, their management or how we can manage the disease, that is dieback or fruit rot disease. So we have to apply seed treatment with Captain or TRM 3 to 4 gram per kg. Collected seed only form fruits without infection. We have to avoid intercropping with susceptible turmeric cultivars. Next, collect and destroy all infected Plant parts. We have to remove and destruction of solanaceous weed host and infected plant debris. Spray 3 times with Captain 1.5% or Mancozeb 0.25% just before the flowering. At fruit formation stage and 15 days after the second spray. We have to use the resistant varieties like G3, G4, B61, Lori, etc. The next disease is the powdery mildew disease. Powdery mildew, like according to the name, we can easily identify the disease symptom because it will be give powder-like appearance. The causal organism of powdery mildew is the Levelula turica, usually seen from December to February. Symptoms are like white, powdery coating which appears mostly on the lower surface and occasionally on upper surface. White powdery coating which appears on the lower surface and occasionally it will be on upper surface. Correspondingly, on the upper surface, yellow patches are seen. Severe infection result in the drying and shedding of affected leaves. So, the powdery growth can also be seen on branches and young fruits. Diseased fruits do not grow further and may not grown prematurely. These are the symptoms like the whitish powder like structure and powder like symptoms will be there. So by these we can easily identify that the particular plant which is infected by this disease. Survival and spread of pathogen. Primary, that is the dormant mycelium in the infected crop debris, and secondary, like the spores or the conidia, which will be dispersed throughout the wind. Favorable conditions like cool, dry weather, which favors conidial germination, and relative humidity favors disease development because due to the humidity and whenever the humidity will be there, then the fungus which can easily grow there. So cool dry weather which will be also favor for their conical germination. Management like spraying wettable sulfur, that is 0.3%, or dinocap or carbendazim or tridmorph 0.3%. So by using this, uh, we can manage the disease, or we have to also use the dinocap or carbendazim or tridmorph 0.1%. Then bacterial leaf spot. The causal organism is Xanthomonas campestris. The symptoms are like leaves fruits and stems are affected. Lesions on leaf begins at circular water-soaked spots. Then the spores become necrotic with brown center with chlorotic borders. So lesions on leaf begin as circular water-soaked spores and spores become necrotic with brown center with chlorotic borders. Enlarged spore may develop straw-colored centers. The lesions are slightly raised on lower leaf surface. Severely spotted leaves turn yellow and drop. So the raised brown lesions appear on fruits. Narrow, elongated lesions or streaks may develop on stem. Like these are the symptoms. So slowly, the symptoms or the spores will be enlarged in size, and this kind they will be infect the complete leaf, and the leaf will be dry and then fall down. Survival and spread, like primary survival, that is seed-borne bacterial cells. Secondary, bacterial cells spread by rain splash. The favorable conditions like high, moderate temperature, high relative humidity, or intermittent rains. How we have to manage the disease? So there are their management, like seeds should be collected from healthy fruit, like the fruits which does not affected by the same disease. Seed treatment with copper oxychloride 2 gram per kg. Field sanitation by removal and destruction of infected plant debris. Spray with twice with streptocycline 0.1 gram, that is 100 ppm, mixed with copper oxychloride 3 gram per liter of water at 15 days interval. So this is all about diseases of chili, spread and survival of pathogen, and how we can manage the disease. Thank you. Next crop is diseases of eggplant or brinjal. So the botanical name of brinjal is Solanum melongena and the family is Solanaceae. Little leaf. The first disease is the little leaf phytoplasma or the little leaf which goes by phytoplasma. Infection is initially observed in one branch and later the entire plant shows symptoms: reduction in size of newly formed leaves, reduction in petiole length making the leaves appear to be sticking to the stem. Affected plants have narrow, soft, smooth, and yellow, shorter leaves. Then the internodes of the stem are also shortened. Axillary buds gets enlarged, but their petioles and leaves have remains shortened, giving the plant a bushy appearance. Mostly there is no flowering, but if flowers are found or formed, they remain green. So fruiting is rare, and if any fruit is formed, it becomes hard, tough, and fails to mature. And young fruit turns necrotic, gets benefit, necrotic, get mummified, and cling to the plant. Basically, these are the symptoms of little leaf disease of brinjal or eggplant, in which the leaves are collapsed and the leaves are wrinkled, and the size of the leaves is small. That's why the name given little leaf, because the size of the leaves is very small as comparison to healthy plants. Survival and spread. Primary and secondary survival. Primary, the pathogen survives in collateral weed host like Datura fastidiosa, Datura, Datura stramonium, Catharanthus rogeus, Argemone mexicana, and transmitted to get eggplant by Jacidus. And the secondary is the leaf hopper, which which is Hicimonas phyticus. Their management, like tolerant variety, Pusa purple round, Pusa purple cluster, and Arga seal. So these are the resistant varieties for this disease, and by which we can maintain the disease. After that, we have to destruction of affected plants, eradication of solanous plants, spray methyl dimetone 2 ml per liter or dimethoate 2 ml per liter. Then the next disease is the bacterial bacterial wilt. So the causal organism, that is Ralstonia solanacearum. The symptoms are like sudden wilting and death of infected plant is the characteristic symptoms. So the period of older leaves droop down and the leaves show apinesty symptoms accompanied by yellowing and stunning of cool plant. Typical browning of vascular tissues of roots and stems can be seen from cross section of infected plants. Whitish bacterial oozes come out like that is bacterial well disease and their symptom. So in which basically the all the leaves are wilt, and they will be, after wilting the leaves will be dry and then they will be fall immaturely. Survival and spread, like primary survival or secondary survival. Primary, the bacterium cells is both seed and soil borne in nature and overwinters in in infected cells in both seed and soil borne in nature and overwinters in infected plant parts in soil. So in wild host, the plants and weeds. Secondary, like bacterial cells spread through irrigation water or infested soil and agricultural implements. And favorable conditions like relatively high soil moisture and soil moderate temperature favor the disease development. Continuous cultivation of solanous crop in the same field. Management like growing resistant varieties like plant Samrat, Arkanidhi, Arka Arka, Neelkantha, Surya, and BB1 44 and 49. Green manuring with brassica species, that is biofumigation, soil solarization with a transparent polythene sheet, that is 125 μm thick, for 8 to 10 weeks during March to June in nurseries. Biocontrol with Pseudomonas fluorescens and with Pseudomonas cephasiaceae, Bacillus species, and then Phomopsis fruit rot or blight disease. So the causal organism is the Phomopsis vacans. Their economic importance are like the disease is severe in tropical and subtropical areas of the world. So in India, it was reported in 1935 in Gujarat. The pathogen joins. The disease is severe in tropical and subtropical areas of the world. So in India, it was reported in 1935. So the pathogen attacks foliage, foliage and fruits, but the later phase is more destructive. So their symptoms like the plants are attacked at all stages of growth producing damping of symptoms in nurseries and collar rot on your young plants. So on leaves like circular to irregular, clearly defined grayish brown spots having light centers appear. So the diseased leaf become yellowish in color and may drop off. Several black Puxinidia on leaves, circular to irregular, clearly defined grayish brown spores having light centers appear. The diseased leaves become yellowish in color and may drop off. So several black Puxinidia can be seen, or the lesions on stem are dark brown, round to oval, and have grey center with Puxinidia develop at the base of the stem. The fungus causes characteristics construction leading to canker development and toppling of the so on fruits, a small pale shucken spot showing concentric ring, after which on enlargement over entire fruit surface. So these spores become watery, leading to soft rot phase of the disease. A large number of dot-like Puccinidia also develop it on such spores. So the infection of fruit throat calyx lead to development of dry rot and fruits appear black and mummified. So basically these are the symptoms. There are different types of symptom, typically blight and fruit rot disease symptoms on brinjal. Diagram A to C, leaf blight symptom. Diagram D to S, D that is stem blight symptoms, EF fruit rot disease, and GZ and G to J there is Puccinidia on necrotic leaves. Then their survival and their spread. So the primary is pathogen is seed borne and also survive in plant debris as mycelium and Puccinidia. And the secondary is like Conidia depressed throat rain splash, irrigation, irrigation water, and agricultural tools and insects. Favorable conditions. Favorable conditions for pathogen, that is high relative humidity coupled with higher temperatures favor disease development. Then the maximum disease development takes place at about 26 degrees centigrade under wet weather conditions. Their management, procuring seeds from healthy fruits followed by seed treatment with thiophanate methyl at 1 gram per kg seed or hot water treatment of seed at 500 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. So due to this and by the seed treatment, we can control the disease. So there is practicing crop rotation and summer pluggings help in reducing the initial inoculum. Because like if crop rotation will be there, then the same pathogen which will be not provide uh, the nutrients for the pathogen. That's why we can overcome the effect of the pathogen by using the by applying the crop rotation and summer plugging. In summer plugging, and due to the summer plugging, basically the soil which will be exposed in sun and in sunlight, that's why the loads of microbes those are present in the soil or pathogen which cause harm to the plant, so they all will be destroyed because the temperature is so high. So due to this, summer plugging is a very good practice to manage the any kind of disease. So removal and destruction of diseased crop debris, and we have to remove and destruct the crop debris because in the absence of the host, the crop debris and the waste material of the crops, those can provide nutrients for the pathogen growth. Because if the crop debris will be there, that means now the pathogens those can easily harvest, and we have to always clean and removal and destruction of the crop debris from the field, because due to the off season, basically they will be provide the nutrients to the pathogen. Then spray twice with thiophanate methyl or carbendazim 1% at 20 days interval. Resistant varieties like Florida Beauty, Solanum gilo, Solanum macrospora, and resistant varieties are Florida Beauty, Solanum gilo, Solanum macrocarpa, and Solanum integrifolia are wild resistant donors. The Phomopsis fruit rot or blight disease. The causal organism is Phomopsis vaccines. Economic importance are like the disease is severe in tropical and in subtropical area. In India, it was reported in 1935 in Gujarat, and so the pathogen attacks foliage and fruit, but the later phase is more destructive. Their symptoms are like the plants are attacked at the all stages of growth, producing damping of symptoms in nurseries and collar rot on young plants. So on leaves, circular to irregular, clearly defined, grayish brown spots having light centers appears. So the diseased leaf become yellowish in color and may drop off. Several black puccidia can be seen on older spots. So the lesions on stems are dark brown, round to oval, and have gray centers where the so several black puccidia can be seen on other folder. So the lesions on stem are dark brown, round to oval, and and have grace centers where the Paxinidia develop at the phase of. So on fruits, small, pale, sucker spores following. So the lesions on stem are dark brown, round to oval, and have grey centers where Puccineria develop, and at the base of the stem, the fungus causes characteristics constriction leading the pathogen and toppling of the plants. So on fruits, small pale sucker spores showing the concentric organs. On fruits, small pale sucker spores showing concentric rings appear with on like enlargement curtain, which on enlargement cover entire fruit surface. So these spores become watery, leading to or soft rod phase of the disease. So a large number of dot-like. So the infection of fruit throat calyx leads to development of dry rot and fruits appear black in color. So the infection of fruit throat calyx which leads to development of dry rot and fruit appear black and mummified. So these are the symptoms of the disease. There are different stages. Survival and spread like primary and secondary survival. Primary, that means the pathogen is seed borne and also survive in plant debris as mycelium and Puccineria. The secondary are the conidia dispersed throughout ran splashes, irrigation water, and agricultural tools and diseases. The favorable conditions are like high relative humidity, which coupled with a higher temperature favor disease development, and maximum disease development takes, takes place at about 20 degrees centigrade. It's about under wet weather conditions. Their management like procuring seeds from healthy fruits, followed by seed treatment with thiophanate methyl at 1 gram per kg seed, or hot water treatment of seed at 500 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. So, practicing crop rotation and summer plugging, which helps in reducing the initial inoculum, removal and destruction of diseased crop debris, spray twice with thiophanate methyl or carbendazim 1%. 1% at 20 days interval, and the resistant variety like Florida Beauty, Solanum gilo, and Macrocarpa, and Solanum integrifolium involve wild resistant donors. So up to here, there are the diseases of brinjals. There how they will be survive and how they will be spread and how the pathogen which manage their diseases. So these all are the major diseases of brinjal. Thank you.